I-V-M.
We would like to thank Storytel for sponsoring this show. Storytel is an audiobook platform that lets you hear hundreds of thousands of stories on your mobile, on your PC, wherever you prefer. You can get a great deal by signing up at storytel.com/IVM. But before I tell you what the deal is, let me make a recommendation for you for your first book. When you go to Storytel, search for James Clavell. He has a number of books, but I'm going to recommend Shogun to you. Shogun is the story of an Englishman who's shipwrecked in 16th century Japan and how he struggles to deal with the culture, gets embroiled in the politics of the land. It's a great story, and if it wasn't enough that you can get just this one book, James Clavell's Asian Saga has 5 more books on Storytel. So go to storytel.com/IVM. You can get your first month at 99 rupees a month instead of 299. That's 200 rupees off on your first month. Storytel.com/IVM. Go check it out.
Hey guys, welcome to the Positively Unlimited podcast. How's this journey of finding your life purpose going so far? How many of the tools that I have shared in the last 7 or 8 episodes, how many of those have you, implemented or started to implement? I'm going to say this to you today. It's one thing to listen to these episodes. It's another thing to put it into action. So while I love receiving all your DMs that tell me how much a certain episode may have resonated with you and how helpful a certain tool was, I'm going to remind you today to use these tools to put it into action, to do the work. Because at the end of the day, that is what will make the actual difference. Well, today's episode, I am going to be sharing with you short visualization. Some of you may find this to be like a meditation, but the idea is to tap into a certain feeling and through that feeling, tune into a certain frequency. Maybe what I'm saying right now just sounded a bit too much like voodoo. So I'm going to try and break this down for you. Imagine that the universe is this massive radio station, huge, with limitless channels. And on any given day, you are tuning into a particular channel, which is obviously a frequency that is carrying certain messages, certain opportunities. Well, the energy is flowing through it. Quite the same way as you listen to music or songs on the radio when you tune into a specific channel. And when you listen to that music, it does something to you. It affects your mood. It entertains you. It makes you smile. And you have certain reactions and responses to what you are listening to. Now, imagine this massive radio station that the universe is. And the frequency that you want to tune into is life purpose. Well, quite like how you tune into a radio channel, you think about your mood. Is your mood for Bollywood music? Is your mood for English music? Do you feel like listening to old Hindi music? Or then do you want to listen to old English retro? Maybe you want to listen to Indian classical. And depending on what you want to listen to, what your mood is calling for, you will find the right channel. Well, in this case, the mood that you need to tap into is actually what you will feel when you live your life purpose. So I know that a lot of you out there do affirmations, and the core of an affirmation is to believe that what you want already is. So an affirmation says that what I am wanting or what I desire is what I am already living at as if. Now, why is that important? Because when you act as if, you feel a certain way. It evokes a certain emotion. And that emotion then allows you to spot certain opportunities that are aligned and to take certain actions that are aligned to your desire. And hence, it starts to move you in that direction. So, with this same formula, what we're going to do today is try to tap into what you will feel when you are living your life purpose. Now, I know that for a lot of you out there, you don't know what your life purpose is, and that's why you are listening to these episodes. But for this particular exercise, you don't need to know what your specific life purpose is. You just need to imagine what it would feel like when you were living your life purpose, irrespective of whatever that may be. Okay? So now here's what you're going to do. You're going to sit down in a quiet place where you are not going to be disturbed for at least the next 3 minutes. If you want to put a timer on, if you want to put some kind of an alarm on, you can do so. Although you don't need it, because if you are following my voice, I will signal you to open your eyes. And yes, you are going to be sitting in a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. So put your phone on silent. Maybe you want to keep it upside down so that you are not being distracted by the screen. And you want to sit with your spine straight. Close your eyes and begin to breathe deep. Inhaling deep, exhaling slow. Inhaling deep again and exhaling slow. Once more. Breathe in and breathe out. And as you feel your breath moving through you, just allow yourself to connect with that flow. Become aware of where in your body can you feel your breath and how it moves from your nose, through your throat, into your chest, maybe even into your belly. Inhaling and exhaling. As you feel the breath moving through you, I want you to imagine. Imagine a day in your life, a few months or years from now, where you are doing exactly what you are meant to do. It could be any time of the day. It could be at home or at work that you see yourself. Don't force the vision. Whatever picture came to your mind when I said imagine, follow the story. You know what your life purpose is in that imagination. You know what you are meant to do in this lifetime. You've woken up in the morning and you are going through your day with this knowledge that you are walking the path you are meant to walk. You, in this moment, within your imagination, are living your life purpose. Yes, you, in this moment, are living your life purpose. What does this feel like? Tap into that emotion. Give it a name, a single word. Try to avoid words like content or good or happy. Go deeper. Don't settle. And that word that you have latched onto, reached out for, can you feel that feeling flowing through your entire physical body? Can you feel it moving through every bone, muscle, joint, and nerve within you as you are seated there with your eyes closed? Inhale and exhale. Breathe in and breathe out. And with complete awareness of that feeling in your spiritual, intellectual, emotional, and physical body, you now wiggle your toes and your fingers and you open your eyes. Welcome back. How was it? How are you feeling? This is an exercise that you will do every single day for the next 21 days. So mark the date that you have started this on and do it for 21 days. After doing it a few times, you may not even need to tune into this episode. You may not even need my voice, because slowly and steadily, that place in your imagination, that feeling, that state of being will become a default setting the moment you sit to do this practice. Also note that you may dream of something different, or you may imagine something different, a different setting, a different time of day, every time that you do this exercise, and that is okay. What is important is the feeling that you are tapping into. And even that in the beginning might change. The first few days you may feel something new every time, and that's okay. You will eventually reach a point where you will feel the same state, the same emotion every time you sit to do this exercise. And hence, you repeat this for the next 21 days. On this note, I'm going to head out of here and catch you again on the next episode. Remember, all previous episodes are on the IVM Podcasts website as well as app. And you can reach out to us on Instagram and Twitter. Our handle is IVM Podcasts. If you wish to connect with me, you can DM me on Instagram. My handle is Positivity Angel.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'd like to thank the sponsors on the network this week, Storytel and The Whole Truth Foods. Thank you for supporting us. So, great week on the network again this week. Definitely do check out the Pragati podcast. Pavan spoke to Krish Ashok. They discussed science, knowledge, and the wonder of Indian home cooking. Staying in the realm of food, on This Round Is On Me, we had A.D. Singh as a guest. Gauri and A.D. discussed the 10 years anniversary of The Table and the 20-year anniversary of Olive. So two of Bombay's biggest restaurateurs have a conversation about the restaurant business. All Things Policy celebrated 500 episodes on January 27th. Manoj talks to Aditya and Anirudh about the surprising origins of the podcast, its evolution over the last few years, and its exciting future. This episode also marks their video debut, so definitely do check that out on YouTube. On Storytellers and Storysellers, Vineet talks to Ranjit Pratap Singh. Ranjit is the co-founder and CEO of Pratilipi. Pratilipi is a company that's recently acquired IVM, and Ranjit on this episode discusses his plans to build a homegrown media empire, his love for comics, and how India can have its own comic cinematic universe. And finally, Cyrus had an exciting week. We had some amazing guests this week. We had Vishal Gondal come and talk about Fauji. We had Atish Tathir talk about the various issues that he had been facing with his OCI card and other things like that. We had Adam Dow talk about things going on in the US and the evolution of what's happening there. We had Siddharth Kannan come and talk about his history with Cyrus and his new show. So definitely do come check that out as well. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
Working Monday to Friday glued to your chair making you feel dull? Worry not. Get your 5-minute weekly dose of travel around the world with Postcards from Nowhere. Join me every Thursday as I explore the strange, obscure, and fascinating parts of the world and bring out facets of travel you may not have thought of before. You can find us on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcast from.